Goulash or biryani?
Uh,
Dal. What was the reason for choosing Pakistan? Was it like a happy accident or like a thoughtful decision?
it was at this point in time also an accident, but not an accident in a negative way. When you tell them I'm sent to Karachi, I had one colleague who was saying, "Have you done wrong?"
Okay,
And-
ouch. That hurts a little bit.
Once you are here, the impression, of course, is completely different. I can tell you that nearly all my German colleagues here typically try to extend their stay.
Football or cricket?
Football.
BMW or Audi?
I cannot answer the question.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the very first episode of The Leaders Launch, an initiative of German-Pakistan Chamber of Commerce and Industry GPCCI. This platform will celebrate impactful leaders, thoughtful stories, and strengthen the bond between Germany and Pakistan. On our very first episode today, we have the privilege of having our very first guest. With an illustrious diplomatic career spanning multiple countries, he has been a driving force for fostering cultural, economic, and political ties between both the countries. Today, we will be delving into his diplomatic journey, his reflection on Pakistan, and what does he think can we do to strengthen and flourish the bond between these two dynamic nations. So please join me in welcoming our very esteemed, the Consul General of Germany, Dr. Ruediger Lotz. Hello, Dr. Ruediger, how are you?
Thank you, fine. Good afternoon.
Firstly, thank you so much for joining us. You are the opener of our podcast, so we are honored to have you with us.
It's an honor to be the opening.
The very first question that comes to my mind whenever I meet someone from the diplomatic field is to know their why. Why did they choose this particular field of diplomacy?
Well, I think diplomacy is a fascinating profession. In which other profession you have the opportunity to get to know so many different cultures, countries, people, and people from very different walks of life. So typically I deal, of course, with politicians, with members, civil servants from the ministries, but business people, artists,
Yes.
Journalists. So it's a wide field. That makes it very fascinating.
So was it like more about being in the spotlight or learning about the culture of various
I think
countries?
at the beginning it was very much of learning about the culture, but really also to be part or an observer of what is happening in the world.
Okay.
And the countries you are hosted to learn a lot about how politics work, how business works, and really to get to know.
So like if I was to ask a Ruediger who is like 17 or 18 years of age, that what do you want to do? So do you think he will have the exact same answer even back then?
I've always liked traveling and to get to know other places. And to join the Foreign Service was a pretty long dream that I had long before I actually joined.
Okay.
So when I was 17, 18, I must say I already was thinking that this would be a wonderful profession.
So at 17 and 18 years of age, you had this thing in mind that you wanted to like choose the path because there are many other ways of traveling the world and experiencing the culture. So why, the diplomatic career? Was it easier back then, or what exactly was the story behind it?
No, it's quite difficult to enter the diplomatic service. But I still think after many years, I feel still as an honor to represent your own country abroad.
Yes.
To be the face of your own country in another country, to represent your country. I think it's an honor, and
it truly is.
I really enjoy it. Yeah.
What was the reason for choosing Pakistan? Was it like a happy accident or like a thoughtful decision?
It was at this point in time also an accident, but not an accident in a negative way. The posting here became open and then I was interested in that. Also, simply, I was in the region before. Many years ago, I spent 2 years in Afghanistan.
Okay.
But on the other hand, I have been working on different continents, Latin America, Africa, North America, Europe, and also Asia. But I wanted also to get to know a little bit more about Asia. And so it fitted very well. It fitted very well to come here.
So how many countries in Asia have you experienced the culture right now, other than Pakistan and Afghanistan?
Yeah, traveling quite a lot. I've been traveling in most countries. But I have been posted to Afghanistan and Pakistan. And back then, when I was in Afghanistan, I was often flying out through Islamabad. So I got to know a little bit about Pakistan. Although I must say, what I got to see from Pakistan at the time was always the road from Islamabad airport to Serena Hotel.
Yeah.
And that, admittedly, that's not really Pakistan.
Yeah, it's just one road. So yeah, you really need to see everything else.
Yeah, the country is far broader, far wider.
It is.
Far more diverse.
Surely. So I'm sure that you must have heard a lot of stories about Pakistan before you decided to move in, or you were, posted here. So I would like to know, what were those stories and how different were they when you actually moved here?
Now, I already had known the country also from other official trips and so I had some idea. How to put it? I think Pakistan, in the Western world at least, often still has a reputation problem, a perception problem. So people would not necessarily say, when you tell them I'm sent to Karachi. I had one colleague who was saying, "What have you done wrong?"
Okay, ouch. That hurts a little bit.
But just to be honest. Once you are here, the impression, of course, is completely different. I can tell you that nearly all my German colleagues here typically try to extend their stay.
Okay, that's a relief to hear.
But that's really how it is. People who are here enjoy the place. So I think it's not up to me to give advices, but I think also Pakistan still has to really work to show abroad that it's a far better, nicer country.
I'm sure it is. I very recently met somebody who has been in Pakistan. He's originally from Scotland, and he has been in Pakistan for the last 37 years. So I kept asking him again and again. I had a recording with him that, why Pakistan? Why did you choose Pakistan? So he had a very different answer to that, of course. But he also told me, the limitations or the restrictions that he suffered from his family and friends when they heard about, him moving to Pakistan. So was it same with your family as well?
Friends and family are used that we go to many places in the world. I think part of the problem is that people perceive, for example, Karachi very much in the way how it was 20 years ago, when there really was a strong security problem. Now, I always say, I tell it to many people who come here visiting delegations or so, a city of that size, in the metropolitan area, perhaps 30 million people, no one knows it exactly, with strong socioeconomic problems, with poverty, with also some political problems in the background. But given that background, I think it's a fairly safe place. I never feel threatened here. To none of the German colleagues here in the time I have been here, anything has happened, and they move around freely. So the security situation, of course, is a challenge, but I feel personally very safe here.
That's actually, I think, a very positive thing coming from you. And I'm pretty sure that when this message goes out there, it's going to create a very impactful image for Pakistan, I'm sure. And that is basically why we are doing this conversation in the first place.
Siemens laid the foundation of the improved productivity for industries long before Pakistan's inception. But Siemens and Pakistan have walked abreast in this legacy of growth. It has been 100 years since the inception of the leading technological titan, Siemens, in Indo-Pak region. Siemens has always stayed a step ahead to support various industrial sectors through digitalized solutions which fuel Pakistan's economy, energy, healthcare, transport and construction. Our strategic priority is to create an impact for customers by empowering our people and equipping them with purpose-driven technology and growth mindset. Our core ambition is to deliver solutions for today and tomorrow for the ever-evolving world.
So what's one surprising or unexpected aspect of Pakistan that you have grown to appreciate over time? I think you've been here for the last 2.5 years.
It's about 2.5 years now. I think the nicest thing is that culture of hospitality, of communication. When you come as a diplomat to another country, typically you come to a country and you don't know anyone there. So you have to establish friendships and contacts, which can in some countries last for quite a while. In many places it could take easily a year before you get the first private invitations. When I came here, that started on day one.
Oh, wow.
And that great sense of hospitality. I've never been invited to an event or so where the host really didn't really take care how the guests feel. Always great food, good company, and that's very nice.
So if I ask you to share like a memorable cultural experience that you have so far in Pakistan in the last 2.5 years that you might not have experienced somewhere else in another Asian country, so what comes to your mind very first?
I think the same what I just said, that the culture, that people stay together. I was recently at a birthday party of someone who turned 80.
80?
80,
okay.
80 years, an old lady. And there were perhaps 100 people there. And many of her peers, people the same age, but also younger people. That sense of community, I think, is something that I really appreciate here very much. In the Western world, it's all about individualism, which has its advantages, but it also has its disadvantages. In my country, many people who are, for example, at age 80, have barely contact to their own family. Many live alone. So there can be a problem of loneliness.
So I'm very glad to know that we have surprised you or, impressed you in such a way.
Yeah.
And I hope that also, gives you motivation to expand your time in Pakistan. Yes.
I hope so, yeah.
So, I think Germany and Pakistan have been in a diplomatic relationship since 1951. Yeah. It's a very long time, and Germany, I believe, was the very first country to, recognize Pakistan after its independence in 1947. So, I think both the countries go way back. So, being in this role for the Consul General of Germany, in your view, what do you think are still the untapped opportunities in Pakistan that Germany can help fulfill? Or what are the gaps that you are still observing, from a vantage viewpoint that you have?
I think there's always a chance to expand the relations. They have been good over many decades. What I notice, and which I really appreciate, is that Germany has a pretty good reputation here. Also German machinery, and so here.
A lot of healthcare supplies, technologies being, coming here from Germany. Yeah.
So, particularly when it comes to business relations, We have that trade exchange of between 3.5 and 4 billion euro, which is a good number already, but it could be much higher. It should be much higher, I think, given the size of the country and the opportunities the country offers. Pakistan is a country of nearly 250 million people. Country with an English-speaking population, with an emerging middle class, with certainly 40, 50 million people who have some purchasing power. And it has a very good geo-economic location, right at the crossroads of Central Asia, South Asia, Southeast Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. And that is a huge opportunity, which has not been sufficiently tapped. So we have to do more from both sides to develop these relations. We have, when it comes to business, there are wonderful relations, in particular in the textile sector. 85% of exports come from the textile sector. And it's wonderful to know that Pakistan has such a competitive textile sector.
Exactly,
and delivering wonderful products to the German market. And I hope that this will stay that way and even expand. But there's more, there should be more.
So in relation to that question, so there's this buzzword going around in Pakistan that we were talking about earlier. It's Ausbildung, I think. Yes, I hope I'm pronouncing it right.
Very good, very well.
I'm trying my best. So a lot of young Pakistanis are seeking Ausbildung, so these opportunities in Germany. So how does that work, like the German dual vocation training system?
Yeah, the dual education system is something that has a very long tradition in Germany. It's basically a system where students or apprentices have, during their work in a company where they learn and practical work their job, at the same time, for example, twice a week, they go to a technical school or a school where they learn more theoretical about that profession. So you have both the practical work and the education in the school.
Okay.
And that combined typically gives a pretty profound knowledge of what you have to do in the job.
And what are the categories, like these particular trainings? What trainings are being offered?
It's a wide field of work from, I mean, it's basically in each and every field, whether you are mechatronic or you work with cars, but also when you want to become a nurse, a paramedic.
Healthcare services,
Healthcare service. So basically for a wide range of professions, mechanics or whatever, you would have that system.
And I think Pakistan has a good reputation in, producing such individuals who are, skilled laborers, basically, you can say, and there's a high demand for it right now in the world.
The basic problem that we face is just probably the opposite problem a challenge that Pakistan has. The median age in Germany by now is 45. The median age in Pakistan is 20. So we have an aging population while you have a very young population. So we don't have enough young people, and perhaps in a way, a country like Pakistan, I don't want to say you have too many, but from an economic point of view, it's a challenge to introduce all young people into the labor market, for example. So we need skilled labor because so many people who are still working, but they will go into retirement over the next years.
Yeah.
And we need every year about 400,000 skilled people from all over the world actually to come to work in Germany over the next 10 years. So that's quite a number.
That is, yes.
We are still not there to come close to that number.
No, I'm pretty sure from where you're sitting right now, and I'm sure that you have plans to work on it, and I hope in the coming future, we can definitely, do something about that number as well. So, one thing that we Pakistanis absolutely love any time of the day, you name it and we want it. It's chai, tea. But Germany has a very strong, culture of coffee. So, did you ever consider like converting to chai, or what was your preference? Like, you always want to have coffee, or like tea has some influence on you?
I drink a lot of coffee, but I also drink chai. And there's a way to prepare the chai here, which I probably pronounce wrongly, but it's doodh patti.
Doodh patti, yes.
I love that.
You love that. Have you had that Pathan hotel wali doodh patti?
I think
so, the Pathans that make it on their cafes.
But when you go on the highway, for example, from Karachi to Hyderabad, we always stop at one of these cafes or restaurants and have a cup of
yes, it's a
party.
Staple. It's a staple.
It's always extremely hot, but I really enjoy it.
No, I think one of the things that we always try to feed people with, no, just stay for chai. Ek cup chai, ek cup chai. So like chai is, it's a saying that goes, if you cut a hand of a Pakistani person, then instead of blood, the chai will come oozing out. Yeah. So how many cities basically you've traveled in Pakistan other than Islamabad and Karachi and Hyderabad? You were saying.
I went already twice by road to Islamabad. So I've seen most parts of the province of Sindh, cities like Saqqara, Lakhana, Hyderabad, Mir Mukhlas. So I've traveled there, but also cities in Punjab like Multan and Lahore. I go quite often to Quetta because it's part of the jurisdiction of the consulate. So I've traveled quite a lot. I have not been to the north yet. Not
because
yet.
You're missing on the largest part of Pakistan if you haven't been to the north yet.
Yeah. No, it's definitely very high on my to-do list.
I mean, you will fall into a very different dimension of Pakistan, and I think you will fall in love with that part of the country. So beautiful, and the people are. You were talking about the hospitality. You will find hospitality in its true shape and form there. The people are beautiful and so loving. So you should definitely put it in the first priority list in the next summer.
Okay, no, I will do that, but I must say that also the province of Sindh really has its charm. I've been a while ago. I spent also a night in a village close to Mir Mukhlas and experienced the hospitality there and that atmosphere in the evening or so at sunset. It was really very, very nice to be there.
So, any particular cuisine of Pakistan that you have grown really fond of in the recent years?
Now, I'm an easy customer. I really like dal a lot.
You're the second person, a foreigner basically, I would say, who said dal chawal. So what is it with dal and, people from Germany and England?
Well, I don't know. I just like it. It's easy to prepare. It's healthy and,
But dal chawal comes with all the other staples, it's not just dal chawal. Right. The papad and the pickles and the onion salad and all that. So you like it with all of those things.
Of course. And I got used to the somewhat, for us, the dishes here are somewhat spicy, which at the beginning I had trouble to adjust. But now it's the opposite. I'm so used to it that when I'm back home and eat something in Germany, I think, have they forgotten any spices or something is missing here?
So I honestly cannot pronounce this word, so I'm just going to show you this card, and I want you to say this. This is the longest word in Germany. So do you know what the longest word in German is?
Well, no, there are examples. I suspected nearly it's Lieferketten-Sorgfaltspflichtengesetz, which is something we struggle with at the moment.
Okay.
That's the law on supply chains, on due diligence in supply chains.
Okay, so I'm just going to show it to you. So please translate it for us. Here you go.
Okay, that's the Rindfleisch-Etiquierungsüberwachungsaufgabenübertragungsgesetz. So that means the law of transfer of civilians task for labeling beef.
Okay, that's a
I've
mouthful.
never
and a
heard
long
of
one.
that law, but
So, what does it relate to exactly?
it's something to monitor the quality of beef.
Monitor the quality of beef.
That's
Okay.
I think, basic.
So it's now the last part of our podcast. It's a quick rapid fire round. So I'm gonna give you a choice between two words, and you have to answer whatever comes to your mind in a GIF. Okay?
Okay.
Whichever you choose, and you don't have time to think. Okay?
Okay.
So goulash or biryani? Dal is not an option.
Okay,
Goulash or biryani? Okay. Football or cricket?
Football. I don't understand the rules of cricket.
Okay, we are on the same pathway on that one. Okay, BMW or Audi?
I cannot answer the question. It's too sensitive. Sorry for that. Both I love both.
Okay. Any other maybe apart from BMW or Audi?
Of course, all the German brands, Mercedes, Volkswagen.
Okay, so we are choosing sides here. Okay, mountains or beaches?
Mountains.
Books or movies?
Books.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Classical music or pop?
Rather classical music.
Okay. Early mornings or late nights?
Actually, neither, but probably rather early mornings.
Okay. Winters or summers?
Summers.
Emails or phone calls?
Emails.
Messages or voice notes?
Messages.
Messages. Okay, you're the first one to say that because we prefer voice notes. But anyways, such an amazing conversation with you, very insightful and very fun on the same end. And I hope that whatever impact we as Pakistanis have created on you are positive. You are literally one of the gem of the person that I met from Germany. I met a lot of people from Germany, and you're definitely one of the gems. So thank you for giving us your time today. And I hope that this conversation, whenever it goes out in the public, it can create a positive image for the ties between both the countries.
Thank you very much. And well, as they say, you can leave Karachi, but Karachi will not leave you. So it will stay in my heart.
It's an honor for us to hear you say that.
It's an honor to be here, and I really enjoy my time.
Thank you. So thank you so much for joining us on our very first pilot episode of the Leaders Launch. And inshallah ta'ala, we will see you in the next one. Allah Hafiz.